Chris Hudson. Starting lineup for Oregon. Alex Forsythe in his mid-20s is the anchor of that line and such a leader for them. For a gain of 9, this is Irving. A little hesitation, and there is Bucky Irving to the third level and a first down for the Oregon Ducks. And this is the defense that will try to handle him. The twin brothers Murphy on the defensive line. Darius Muasau, the middle linebacker, is somebody who's got a lot of work to do, but Laiatu Latu is the sack leader for this team. And then Stephen Blaylock in the secondary will be pressured as well as Nix with the throw toward the sideline, and he's got Troy Franklin. All that motion you were talking about. Oregon goes empty on a first down from inside the 40. Opening drive for Nix. That is Franklin again, and they have really been in sync. He goes back to the slot at the top of the screen. Franklin, and now Irving motions into the backfield. Two inventive, creative play callers today. One on each side. Kenny Dillingham and Chip Kelley on our first marker down. And we'll say hello to Michael Mothershed, our referee.
False start, number 78, offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
And you've seen the outrageous numbers for both these quarterbacks. Efficiency, completion percentage, it is built right there. It's built on what they're doing at the line of scrimmage in the run game first.
Saw 2 tight ends in motion there. They've run 4 tight end personnel at points this year. And this is a handoff for Bucky Irving for a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd down and 3. Jordan James has checked in, the freshman who's been so good in short yardage for the Ducks. And it is him twirling for a first down. James, freshman, averaged 9 yards a carry in high school. He's been a short yardage cat for them so far this year. And a first down for the Oregon Ducks with Whittington checking in the backfield. Motion at the snap, and this was in trouble in the first place. Incomplete. Kirkwood with the coverage on Franklin. So many of these plays for Oregon happen right around the line of scrimmage. We'll talk about that as the game progresses. Pressure coming. Nix had it tipped at the line, and it's 3rd down. That was Muasau, the linebacker.
Right in the middle. NFL defensive scheme. Bill McGovern spent the last 8 years in the league learning different ways to attack protections, different systems. That time 6 Bruins at the line, and Muasau timed that perfectly to knock down in 3rd and extra long.
And now a little check by Nix. Other team very good on 3rd down defensively in this game. It's a pitch, and it's to the outside for Whittington, and he's not going anywhere. To about the 26, and you hear the reaction of the UCLA defense.
Well, that's an awesome play by Latu. Latu is not just a one-trick pony for these Bruins. He may be one of the best in the country at getting home and sacking the quarterback, but you're going to see him here on the edge, eyes into the backfield. And that's how you play the option game. You sit right in between the quarterback and the running back, and you force a 44-yard field goal attempt here from Oregon.
44 yards for Camden Lewis on the opening drive for Oregon, and he does sneak it through for a Ducks 3-0 lead.
And Oregon loves to play a lot of man-to-man coverage. Expect his legs to be critical this afternoon, too.
Even watching him come onto the field, he was skipping onto the field in a very loud environment, and his opening pass to Kashmir Allen for no gain. Starting lineup on the offensive line for UCLA. They've generally kept him clean this year. John Gaines has played all over that offensive line. But Zach Charbonnet, the transfer running back from Michigan, has been a demon to bring down for Pac-12 defenses.
And his teammates call him the Terminator for a reason.
Motion for Allen. It's Dorian Thompson-Robinson. And he's a couple yards shy of the line to gain. Oregon defense, number 2, DJ Johnson, wants to get to the quarterback today. We'll see how Thompson-Robinson uses that. Jeffrey Bassa, Justin Flo will be there as well. Noah Sewell, not the same number of tackles this year, but still very effective. And Christian Gonzalez will have stress on him with those UCLA receivers. 3rd down and 2. Charbonnet on of the backfield and a first down. Oregon's 129th in the country on third down defense.
Yeah, and UCLA is 4th in the country. It's one of the only statistical true mismatches in this game on paper. Lots of eyewash before that snap. One formation, shift to another formation, trying to get a little tell on what Oregon is going to do, and ultimately they play that man coverage and get lost. And the first of, I would expect, a few third down conversions for UCLA today.
It is Charbonnet. The most yards after contact for a running back in the Pac-12. He's got 8 on that carry and nearly a 200-yard day against Utah 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and this is just a funky formation. You see number 88 blocking. Who is number 88? He's not on your roster. Well, that's Sam Marazzo. He's the 6th offensive lineman. So he's wearing 8 to 80. You look good in that 88 too, Sammy. That's a new one for you. 6 offensive linemen. Just, again, some of the tweaks week to week that Chip Kelley does more than anybody in college football.
You lean on the defense so hard with that. Little play action from Thompson Robinson for Allen. He throws to Charbonnet, who there he goes, getting out of the tackle for a first down. Justin Flo had him, but couldn't make the tackle in a first down broom.
Yeah, the Terminator leads the conference with 405 yards after contact. That's running the ball. And here is a receiver. You can't go high. Justin Flo is violent. He's physical. He's one of the most intense duck defenders, but you cannot leave your feet. You cannot tackle that man from the waist up. You got to bring your legs.
Thompson Robinson rolling. He drops it off. Kazmir Allen, little sidestep, and he's just short of the 35-yard line. Mace Funa comes in to substitute, and UCLA snaps it very quickly. There is Allen whirling and getting to the 30-yard line.
Here's a little formation into the short side of the field. Are you going to stay in it? No, we're not. We're going to give that defense something to communicate and talk through on their side.
Dorian Thompson-Robinson wanted to load it up. Now he's going to run behind O'Neal, the left tackle, for a couple of yards. Brandon Dorless with the stop, second down.
And I love the little hop here. Right, you said he was hopping onto the field. Well, look at him here. They covered up. Oregon does a nice job there. And maybe years pass, DTR tries to force something. Right, as a young player, you try to force something. That time you just hop all the way along for a nice first down game.
He put O'Neal into scramble mode. His left tackle, he was like, I'm going to hit somebody for you. You should tell me a little earlier next time. 2nd and 4. It's counter action for Charbonnet, and he is met. Flo had a little help this time from Mahai, and it's third down for a UCLA team. You look at yards per play, 8+ against Utah, 41.5 points a game, third in the Pac-12. They were bobbing their head. They want the resistance from the crowd. Third down, Thompson Robinson on a throw right at the stick, and he does have Allen, who says first down, and he's right.
Yeah, coming off of a bye week, both teams are going to bust some tendencies. 3rd and 3 is almost always man-to-man coverage. So Chip Kelley goes to all those crossing routes, right? Try to get somebody free. Not that time. Has the patience to beat zone, too.
So patient. He got to the outside because of it, and finally got dumped by Steve Stevens. Second down. Supreme confidence for number 1 in white and blue. Thompson Robinson ready to chuck it. He goes down the middle into bracket coverage and incomplete for Josiah Norwood. Hill crunched him.
Ooh, now that's a little greedy. This is kind of back to some of those taking care of the football. Right, you're throwing right into double coverage. You see the swing route is really the place to go with the ball. This is a no-no, and DTR gets away with it.
Which quarterback will play within himself more this afternoon in the Pacific Northwest? Pressure coming, he felt it, and he bails. Thompson Robinson got a completion for Jones and a touchdown. There is a marker in. We'll check the penalty. For now, it's a touchdown, UCLA.
Holding, number 57, Autzen. 10-yard penalty. Replay third down.
It's a big right guard, John Gaines. As you said, he's bounced all over the field, but you're going to see it here. You watched Raekwon O'Neal on that previous scramble. It's hard on those linemen at times to know where your QB is. Probably didn't have to do it. It's going to take a touchdown off the board in UCLA, and John Gaines is going to have to respond.
There's movement at the right side of the line, and this play is not happening. That's not a live play. It was a false start first. We'll see if they play for 6 or 3. This is a delay of game, I believe. The clock was down to 0. Thompson Robinson throws into the end zone, incomplete. They let the play go. It'll be 4th down. Brian Addison back on the field this week. Sets up a 4th and long.
Well, DTR wears these bracelets around his wrist that his chess master gives him to take care of the football. That the football is king. And that is 2 fairly careless throws into the end zone that both Jamal Hill and that time Addison had their hands on to take away.
Nicholas Barmira, who beat South Alabama with a kick at the horn, tries to tie the game, and he is great. The drive for Oregon. And this will be a pass eventually. Nix chucks it incomplete. 3 drives have eaten up the entire first quarter.
Low check-in here. He has the opportunity on every snap to do so.
Movement by the defensive line at the snap, and this goes to the wide side for a completion to the 26 in Franklin.
That was one of the more telling elements between Kenny Dillingham, who knew and was with Bo Nix at Auburn years ago, and the Bo Nix today. Every single play, there's a good look at Kenny Dillingham. Inventive, creative, but empowering to his quarterback, too.
32 years old, Kenny Dillingham. Sharp offensive mind who grew up watching Chip Kelley and Rich Rodriguez and Gus Malzahn. They do snap it. It is Nix. He's been so dangerous with the legs, and a 1st down Oregon at the end of the first.
Pass interference. Number 24, defense. Got penalty for flying. Dump to the play. First down.
This is on his old buddy, Jalen Davies, the Oregon Ducks transfer. And the catch radius, yeah, he catches it all the way through contact with the ground. He's able to remain control. The 6'3", and they're going to take another look at it, but the 6'3", 175-pounder, top 50 recruit in America, showing off those skills.
I do like that rolling.
Dean, thank you. It's a first down nonetheless. Would have been a 15-yard penalty. Either way, it was a first down. Oregon has it at the 35. Bo Nix, there's one of those screens again, and it is Coda, the former UCLA Bruin, and all of his former teammates meet him.
How about our big guy, Alex Forsyth, right in the middle of that action, too. It's hard for centers to get out on those screens, but Forsyth, one of the good ones. He snaps it so well, and that allows him to take that first step, not just in the run game, but in that screen game, get out in front as well.
It's Whittington, and it's an Oregon first down.
Well, you see how this Duck offense puts a defense into a bind. A running QB, 4 different running backs, an elite receiver on the perimeter, tight ends that can catch it, a veteran O-line.
Similar play, Whittington this time toppled for a loss. John Vaughn's the two-sport star for UCLA.
And that's going to be some of the answer here, I think, for UCLA. You just can't sit back and let all of their weaponry attack you. At times, you've got to dictate. But really, since that Georgia game, you're talking about the second best offense in America. Yards, scoring, right behind the team that you just watched here on Fox, Ohio State, go up and down the field.
8.5 yards of play today for the Oregon Ducks. They go 2 backs here, Dollars and Whittington. It's Whittington. He's got the first down, chased out by Blaylock behind Amuvaila-Ulu.
Yep, and once again, it's those two. It's the center and your right tackle that are pulling. Forsyth is so good. That snap is perfect. Right into the hands and the mesh point so he can get out in front with his big right tackle buddy. This is what you call perfect mix and balance for Oregon offensively.
The mature leader in the middle, Forsyth. This is the run. It is Dollars, and he is just short of the goal line.
Well, this run game is just toying with this front. They're running at him. They're getting the ball out of their hands. They're pulling just about everybody on that offensive line. And look at Forsyth right in the middle of it. 6-year grown man, been through so much in his life, and the unquestioned steady leader of that crew.
How about this formation? Some linemen out wide. They'll see how UCLA plays it, and now bring everybody back in.
And that won't be the last time you see that formation. They love QB sneaks, too.
Out of the eye, it's a touchdown for James. Experimentation from the play caller Dillingham all year long for Oregon.
My, oh my, Amuvaila-Ulu. Look at you, big fella. Look at the right tackle. Get out in front of this play about the 6th time that he has done it. He's hitting these Bruins right in the mouth. It's been target practice for that offensive line. And explosions have followed.
Bullseye after bullseye so far for Oregon, but credit Dan Lanning and his special teams for creating that touchdown. Andrew Boyle, MVP of that drive, flopping on it 11 yards down the pipe here at Autzen Stadium.
Position they've been in really since week 1. 62% pass against their D because everybody's coming from behind. It's the most pass, second most pass in the country.
UCLA gets it from the 20. 9 unbeaten's opening play today. UCLA is one of them. Syracuse went down already. And one of those games that starts to set you up for the college football playoff on the horizon in the Pac-12. 2 of the best in this league together here in Eugene. Dorian Thompson-Robinson with a handoff for Charbonnet. Downstairs in the drizzle, Allison Williams.
Yeah, the weather that was expected today has started to show up. The rain is falling. The temperature's dropping as well. And, guys, the other factor is keep an eye on the wind. It's definitely picked up here lately. It's kind of moving left to right on your screen. We'll see if that's a factor at all. DTR has never played in a rain game in college, but he said it's all about having the right mentality. You have to focus on all the little things, even this snap. You cannot get lulled to sleep and think anything's automatic in the rain.
He's ready to throw here, Allison. In that rain on 2nd and 6. It sailed a little bit, but eventually ends up with Jake Bobo on his first run.
How these receivers make these catches within contact. Bobo, he's got Bennett Williams right in his hip pocket, and he just sticks that big old paw up in the ground. We call his name for the first time.
Here is Thompson-Robinson on the run on first down. And a lethal stiff arm after the juggle. Allison was talking about the snap, and there's some jawing going on. Bridges, Bennett Williams, Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
A little bit of tempo there and some miscommunication between DTR and Duke Clemens. Duke thinking he'd be under center. And you'd think, how in the world does the raindrops fall? Does a center not know when a QB is either underneath him or in the shotgun? But he's got a lot going on. Fortunate to get away with that.
Charbonnet has the first down for UCLA. Dedicated to the run and dedicated to stiff arm. Stevens got knocked down by Charbonnet's shoulder. Back to it. Charbonnet downhill. Second down coming up. DJ Johnson went for a ride that time.
Exact same play call, and they did this on the previous drive too. And that's a lesson to you young play callers out there. Don't get cute. You've got all these creative formations, everything that you want to do. But if a defense is aligning and giving you the opportunity to run it, Chip Kelley will continue to call the same play.
Get over, he says. Charbonnet out, Jones in, and Jones is down behind the line, and there's that man ready to pin his ears back, Johnson, and Sewell taking in the rain.
This team effort here, team defense. I think Keegan could have bounced that to the front side where these runs have been effective. He tries to bounce away. Too much speed for those Ducks.
Could be two-play territory here for UCLA. Allen hit, kept his feet, and down he goes. Bridges got in there first. It's fourth down. Are you going for it?
I don't think so, and I don't think Chip is either, because they get the ball to begin the second half. I think if you got a little something there, if it's 4th and 2 on his sheet and his analytics, he probably does. Credit to Triquez Bridges.
Fourth-year long snapper Jack Lander, very experienced. Sean Holland to hold in the rain. It's a high snap, and Barmira does sneak it through.
Ducks 24, UCLA 13.
UCLA takes the decision. Down he goes at the 10-yard line. Take a look at our Built for Success presented by Rocket Mortgage for the playbook on home loans. Rocket can. 46 and 7 under Chip Kelley. Back-to-back Coach of the Year situations for him. 3 straight conference titles. And the 2011 National Championship appearance is the first in Oregon school history. And look, he was such an innovator offensively and such a creative mind. This is by far his best UCLA team.
This is his most veteran team. Playmakers abound, an elite running back, a veteran quarterback, lots of components in place, and you're seeing that with their production this season. Back to those years here in Eugene.
Bucky Irving powering forward. That's a first down for Oregon as he hangs onto the football to raucous cheers for the Toughness.
12 more on first down. The Ducks are averaging, Jason, a 9.5 yards on first down.
That's a first down they're averaging on first down if you round up.
And not in football because it'd be a half yard short of the sticks, but I see what you're saying.
Thank you for the lecture. First down for Oregon again. It is Irving. Irving, and you see how tough he runs. Talking to his teammates and his coaches, they say he's the guy that's always smiling and bouncing around, and you always feel him in the room. Tacklers feel his personality.
Have we seen a tackle today where there's stopping power, where the defender is stopping and knocking that running back on either side? We have not seen it.
That was a gain of 7, 2nd and 3. It's a quick hitter. The slot man, Coda, has a first down for the Ducks. At the line, you're saying.
At the line, behind the line of scrimmage. That ball comes out with such accuracy behind the line of scrimmage, too.
And the tight end in motion. Oh, my goodness. A cyclone. A second tornado for Irving and a gain of 9.
1, 2, 3 missed tackles, a spin cycle to make those two Bruins collide and miss. Muasau doesn't have the speed to get to it. 9 more on first.
Human car wash. Bucky Irving. Nix, who's been sacked 1 time this year, gets it off for Coda, and a first down for the Ducks.
Well, UCLA tries to bring 5. They try to mix it up a little bit. But this is what this offense does. Takes elite defenders like Latu and puts them on their heels with the ball out of his hands.
Down to a minute. Nobody's used a timeout. That's a long throw, and it took a while. And it's a very short gain. And it's 2nd down coming up. That was Irving the catch. Timeout Oregon. So 55 seconds to go. 140 yards on the ground. Both these are prideful rush defense teams.
Correct.
And they're both getting hit pretty hard.
Because they're seeing veteran quarterbacks that can spray the ball everywhere. Veteran QBs that can run when you give them a lane. And, I mean, as Bo Nix, other than the deep shot on the unbelievably gorgeous teardrop, has he held the ball in his hand in any passing situation for more than a second and a half? I mean, it is just that first read is there, and he keeps taking it. And then Bucky Irving is the beneficiary, Whittington the beneficiary, because that defense, like all of the years when Chip was here, is just left on their heels. Defenses want to dictate. Defenses want to be aggressive. This UCLA crew in front 7 has been so this season, but not this afternoon.
He rolls the pocket this time. Nix loads up, throws the other way for the end zone, and a tackle in the end zone. Markers from everywhere on Hearn.
Pass interference. Number 22, defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. It's an automatic. First down.
Well, let's just move the pocket. Let's add another little wrinkle. Get outside of it, and you can see Coda coming across the field. If Hearn doesn't make this tackle, and he just full-on tackles Coda, that's another teardrop for 6.
We've seen that on screens this year, right where the offensive line moves one direction. This was a long pass play that flowed one direction and then went back the other way for Kenny Dillingham. 48 seconds. First half. Nix felt the pressure, turns it upfield, and Nix with a flag down has a first down, but that might be holding against Amuvai Laulu. We'll see.
Holding, number 71, offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
And we call one of the Murphy twins names for the first time. An excellent inside move here from Gabe Murphy. And Amuvai Laulu, who has been so dominant in the run game. Right, we saw it on the other side. We saw a touchdown come off the board on a QB scramble when those D linemen get that kind of penetration. And you got a QB that is elusive. There are times those big offensive tackles, as that jersey and that helmet get wetter and wetter. You just have to reach and grab.
They went into the old Ted DiBiase sleeper hold that time. They'll roll again with Nix. He throws on the move. He's got it on target. It is Franklin inside the 10. And command of the clock as well. Timeout UCLA. Nix has been nearly perfect.
But I told you before how I'd never want to be a defensive coordinator. Because when you're facing guys like Bo Nix, playing at this elite level, run, pass, whatever you put on your whiteboard, you just erase it because it's not going to work. Can't stop the run, can't stop the pass. You throw, that's his best throw of the season. That is 57 yards on the button to Troy Franklin. And I just don't know, with this kind of space, the wide hash marks you have in college football.
Off the UCLA timeout, that's Franklin down at the bottom to the short side. Knicks looked that way, felt the pressure, got away from is down at the 2. It's Mo Autzen who saved the touchdown, and Oregon will have one timeout remaining after that.
It's a four-man rush. You actually get home, you impact Knicks, and he's got to step up around it. Excellent inside move, but Grayson Murphy is just left reaching for air. Oh, good thing here for Mo Autzen that he just gets enough of that shoelace right there to bring Knicks down. On a wet day, if they can punch in 7 here, they're going to make the Bruins play uphill the entire way in the second half.
We've been here twice, and I will say Dan Lanning has been top-notch both times at the end of the first half in using his timeout for UCLA. Lanning, we mentioned UCLA. Last time they won here in Eugene, 2004, his freshman year in college at William Jewell, northeast of Kansas City. 2004, he was just starting to make friends in college. He was using his creativity and inventiveness to build loft beds in his freshman dorm. Now, 18 years later, he's trying to keep UCLA off the win column as the head coach at age 36.
A timeout before playbook's open.
Second and goal, it's a throw. It gets there to Franklin, and what a stonewall by Blaylock. Clock is moving. They say he was inbound when the progress was stopped. So Oregon will have to use that final timeout.
Stopping power, as scouts like to talk about, and it's right here. And it's the veteran Blaylock. Get caught up in the wash and then delivers the blow right there. I think he is in bounds right there when the momentum stops. So that's running the clock and forcing Oregon to burn the final timeout. Some play calls here. This has to go. If you're Bo Nix, you have to manage and make sure you secure the field goal. And Chip's going to take his final timeout.
2 yards, 10 seconds. Nix rolling with the motion from Franklin. And he puts it on the numbers of his favorite target today.
One step. That's all it takes. One little hesitation. And you can see a little John between the two sides. You can see a flawless first half with a smile from drop pad to Bo Nix. And once again, Kenny Dillingham and his OC giving Troy Franklin and Bo Nix the opportunity to connect.
This is needle point. I mean, this is surgery.
This is one little misstep. You're going to see the motion here, and you can watch Kenny Churchwell, the nickelback, come out, and he hesitates right there. That's it. It was one little hesitation step backwards from Churchwell, and that's all Bo Nix needed to see to put the ball right in his receiver's lap, where it's going to be his or nobody's. This Franklin kid is becoming a star in front of our eyes.
And how about the smile from Bo Nix that we saw so little at Auburn? Even in good games, we didn't see the joy.
You know, Urban Meyer, no question. And Urban Meyer did a great segment on Big Noon Kickoff today. It was about Brian Hartline and the receiver coach at Ohio State and all the guys that he's producing. And Bo Nix is the beneficiary here of what Junior Adams, the receiver coach, is doing. Because all the things that Urban highlighted, of high pointing the ball, of precise route running, the attention to detail, that is what those two, Bo Nix and Troy Franklin, are maximizing and putting their own teaching tape for Urban Meyer to break down. I don't know, maybe next week.
You're planning the show now?
No. Maybe.
That's not what I heard. UCLA on the return, Keegan Jones. And this will be a very even-handed clock operation here at Autzen Stadium. Some places at zeros.
Yeah, this is a fun place to be right here.
Yeah.
Yes. When you can say to one another, hey, man, is that working? Yeah, that's working. Is that working? Yeah, that's working. I mean, 31 first half points scored on every single drive, 347 total yards. As you said, surgical.
All offenses here at Autzen Stadium, 31-13. First quarter, the offense has erupted. Allen on the return for UCLA. They need something, and they get him across the 30 and down.
I spoke with UCLA head coach Chip Kelley at the half. He said, we have to find an answer for Bo Nix's mobility. He's been really good with his feet and keeping plays alive, so we have to find a way to contain him here in the second half. Now, as for his offense, he felt like they played pretty well in that first half. They just didn't have the ball a whole lot. Just 3 possessions, he said, so we have to maximize them when we get the chance. We have to get touchdowns, not be settling for field goals. And really, he felt like they hurt themselves in the first half. He said it wasn't Oregon stopping us.
Dorian Thompson-Robinson, pressure from the backside. That's Charbonnet, and Zach Charbonnet has a first down for the Bruins.
He's absolutely right, maximizing these drives, and they have to end in touchdowns.
Charbonnet with a sidestep, and that pile ends up in a big glut. Couple of yards on first down. I mean, to your point about the defense, UCLA gives up under 5 yards of play, best in the Pac-12. It's 8.5 today for Oregon.
Because they can't take either the run or pass away.
Dorian Thompson-Robinson looked this way, throws that way, and it's incomplete. Some hand fighting between Bridges and Norwood, and it's 3rd and 8.
Yeah, Norwood just lost his footing there really awkwardly. It was a well-thrown ball, but the size of Bridges, we've seen him show up stopping the screen game, and he is long and strong and forces DTR into a 3rd and 8.
The most physical of their corners lights up this crowd, 3rd and 8. From the 45, it was Brown in motion. It is Charbonnet, and Addison goes for the legs.
And he comes from a long ways away. He is a safety, and he closes about 15 yards. And because of this terrific tackle going right there for the thigh pads and sawing those legs off, Chip Kelley's got to consider whether to go for it. He ran the punt team on the field. There's some confusion right now. That's well done by the converted receiver, Addison. Punt team was on the field. They've now scrambled off the field. And with the way their defense played that first half, I think you do have to go.
Umpire on the ball with the substitution. 2 to snap it. They do go for it. Thompson-Robinson's throw a little off target, but Bobo reels it in, first down.
Well, that's just too easy here for Oregon. They play, again, a little bit of zone defense. And as you can see, there's not a duck defender. How do you not get tight on the 6'5", 215-pound Bobo? The Ducks do not. And that was a must conversion.
Nice rescue there by Bobo on a ball rolling away. Dorian Thompson-Robinson to run. And Stevens touched him first, 2nd and long. 22 straight wins in front of this crowd for the Oregon Ducks. And Dorian Thompson-Robinson, who did not play, he was caught up in contact tracing 2 years ago when UCLA came here and Chase Griffin got the start in a 3-point loss. Pressure from the backside. Thompson-Robinson got away from it and zigzags to that seat that he takes sometimes for the first down. Man, Dorless had 2 shots at him and never racked him up.
That is so annoying for a defensive lineman. Wins right off the bat. Beats down the hands of O'Neal, the left tackle. And there's the elusiveness of DTR.
Charbonnet behind Allen to the sideline, and he stepped out of bounds.
And I like this from Chip Kelley, and it's not a surprise. You can look at the scoreboard and you can panic and throw it every down, or you played enough games, called enough games, and understand in this venue and building, you have to continue to run it, because that run game sets up the play action game, sets up this offense for its most success.
Opening drive of the third quarter for UCLA, and he drops it off on a short pass. That is Allen for a first down for UCLA.
There's that play action, right? You have to make those linebackers honor it. And you could see Sewell and company, their eyes in the backfield, because Charbonnet is such a weapon, and that sets the table for everybody else to eat.
Charbonnet chopping his steps and down, with Bridges getting a hand on him. Second down. He thought he could have more maybe there. And Tosh Lupoi, his defense has done enough to force a couple of field goals so far.
Look how intensely he's looking at that call sheet.
Staring right through it.
Wow. Looks like the old D-line move from Cal back in the day, that intensity.
You're going to have to pick up the call sheet, which ended up on the floor. Second down and 7. Dorian Thompson-Robinson running horizontally because of Gonzalez and because of Bennett Williams, the nickel, coming up, and he's got some words for DTR.
Well, that was a pretty good call on that sheet, and that's just some standard defense. The officials on both sides done a good job. They know the emotion of it, and those officials and these offensive players are going to feel full throat Autzen Stadium on this third down.
Dorian Thompson-Robinson hit as he throws. Keegan Jones in the flat, and he is swarmed, and once again, Oregon forces a decision for UCLA.
Well, you know what was on that call sheet of Tosh Lupoi was a corner blitz. Not just going to sit back, I'm going to bring it, right?
Moving on the return. Gets to the 18. Downstairs, Allison enjoying a little sunlight.
Yes, it's improved here in the second half, which I'm thankful for, and so is this Oregon offense. Dan Lanning, their head coach, really impressed with the balance that they showed in that first half. And he used the word physicality multiple times when I talked to him. He said, we've been able to run with physicality. We're playing with physicality on defense. We just have to keep our foot on the gas. And when we have a shot on offense, take it. I asked him about the decision to go for the onside kick. He said it was something they saw, but it was also a little bit because of the weather. He said, we knew that the weather was going to change. Felt like it was a good opportunity to steal a possession.
It's sort of like a baseball manager saying, hey, it might rain in the 6th. Let's get our runs early and use the bullpen differently. This handoff leads to a slip by Bucky Irving and a couple of yards on first down.
So then what is UCLA going to do differently? What is Bill McGovern up there, who said to us time and again, we've got to get him off schedule. We got to get the Ducks off schedule. The only way to have success is to get them off schedule. Could not do that at all in the first half. What kind of new looks, blitzes, pressures can we see in this second half to force the issue?
7 in the box here. Another run. Irving brings it down, and Latu stands over him. It's a loss on the play of 1.
Well, there's their best tackle, right? We saw Blaylock at the end of the first half. And that time Latu comes down the line of scrimmage. Wraps those long arms, those rugby arms, right? Played rugby the last couple years when football was not in the mix, and sets up a 3rd and 8. And finally, the Ducks a little bit off schedule.
Won 2 rugby national titles in high school for the Marauders. 3rd and 8. Nix with a dart on a crossing pattern, and this is very close for Coda. Let's see where the spot is.
You got a QB sneak in you?
Well, they're going to move the chains. If I'm UCLA, I'm saying I think he's short. Oregon believes otherwise. Chip Kelley is working the official on the far side, and let's see if replay does hit the button here. The important factor is the ruling is first down. You'd need indisputable video evidence to overturn. We'll examine next.
awful at it. But we worked it, and we worked it, and we worked it. And with the experience of Forsyth and the athleticism of Nix, it's been unstoppable.
He actually said we were king fumble in spring with it. James bouncing outside, and that is hard contact with the corner Humphrey for a couple yards.
A little better disposition from these Bruins in the second half.
How so?
Just almost like a running back can have a forward lean offensively. You almost just feel it defensively. Are you coming downhill? Are you able to hit and finish, as we've now seen on a couple occasions, which we saw almost none of the first 30 minutes of play?
This is Irving hitting the hole hard, and he is across the 35. Third down and medium.
You know what else I like about this?
What's that?
Well, now you're going to mix a little tempo because you want to keep them in base defense, but I like some of the clock and time management too.
It's a run on third down, and Sykes pushing forward on the tailback Irving, and that is close again. It's going to be about a yard short.
No punters allowed.
Oh, they're going for it. Saw the sneak last time. Let's see where the gap is, if it is a sneak, and if Nix checks out of it. He didn't like the front, Brock. He decides to take it outside and keep his feet long enough. He was slipping, and he leaned to move the sticks.
Wow. That takes some guts as well here from Bo Nix. He makes the call. And he's got two Bruin defenders there, Autzen as well, and Vaughn's coming over, and he splits them. I mean, he is 1.5 yards upon contact behind the sticks, but sometimes that adrenaline that comes from desperation in that moment when you call your own number, he moves chains again.
He told us last time we were here he hates losing even at board games. And that was that type of run. Competitive as can be. Whittington right across the O for a first down for the Ducks.
Gosh, and just look at these big fellas, and I've said his name a lot today. Watch your big right tackle get out in front of this. Once again, just blocking down, pulling Duck offensive linemen. And this is different. When Chip was running the show here, you know what he did? He never stepped off the accelerator. It was all fast-paced. It was all fast-paced. Just a little bit of Dan Lanning managing this game, managing this play clock, and look at the game clock with it.
Under 5 in the quarter, and that is a nice play by Kane Medrano, the linebacker, back a couple of weeks ago. It's 2nd and long.
Well, there's a little pressure finally.
Would you call more?
I think you have to. I mean, you have to take something away. Right? And now the challenge is the way that Bo Nix has thrown it and thrown it down the field for huge plays as well. And this is a great area of the field to take one of those strikes.
We've got that bunch at the bottom.
And we got all of this. Look at this chaos at the line of scrimmage for Bo and Alex Forsyth to sort through.
7 guys right there. It is Irving. And he somehow wrestles his way past Latu for an extra yard. 3rd and long.
Now you got a number in mind. Okay, you've already gone for it on your side of the field at 27. So at 3rd and 8, they already made the decision. You get to this number, you can go for it on 4th down. Even if you don't get all 8 here.
Converted 2 4th down and 1 plays on the drive already.
A very different look from UCLA. Look like they're rushing just 3 here.
And somehow Irving knifes through for the first down.
Well, somehow, look at the bubbles here to run into. I mean, you want to play a 3-man front? You want to show your cards early? You're going to give us that kind of room to run? You're going to dare us to run? We're going to make you pay.
Looked like Medrano was going to be lined up to make the play. He went the other direction, and Kenny Dillingham is having a sterling day.
And he's not stopped talking because he's not on this play. Honestly, he's not on this play. He is already on to how they're going to manage the next one. And once again, prime territory, man coverage if you want to push it downfield.
It's play action, and it is a laser to the sideline for the tight end, Herbert, with his second grab of the year.
His second, and look at the little sneaky tight end turn fullback. Going to come in. We're going to show that exact run because we've been pounding the football at you. And then Justin's brother, the 4-star stud himself, the #1 recruit out of Oregon 4 years ago that's battled injuries, puts himself on the stat sheet.
Right here in Eugene, getting a little love from his teammates, and a smile crosses his face as the sun peeks out again on first down. Fake the toss. It is Nix. Straight ahead. He was running behind Walk, and it's second down.
I think these O-linemen are having any fun.
Oh, my goodness. We were talking to Alex Forsythe, and it was like a little party in his brain as he was talking about the way this line has effectively kept Bo Nix clean. Faked another toss. Now they go down the middle with a throw for the touchdown to McCormick. Off the same action, a totally different conclusion.
Remember, we're talking about Kenny Dillingham talking and talking and talking up there because he's not focused on the current play. They ran that earlier, and off of that exact same look, we're just now going to stretch you vertically.
College coach, I basically came from nowhere, and he has become one of the most creative play callers in college football. Oregon's unstoppable right now. They're just heating him up enough.
Yep, and that was DJ Johnson that time. It's been Dorless a few times, and this is the conundrum you put yourself in. And that guy, DJ, boy, is he coming. Like a lot of these Ducks that are just playing their best ball, be it late in their career for DJ or Bo Nix as a transfer in, keep getting better and better and better. When you have a lead like this, you make an offense one-dimensional.
It's a run for Charbonnet. Thompson Robinson ahead, and Charbonnet changing speeds on the fly for a first down.
He looked like a Brahma Bowl in Pamplona. Did I say that right?
Yeah, with brake pads, too.
I mean, like, seriously, he gores someone here at the end. You want to try to come tackle me? I'm going to bounce you. Boop. See ya. And I don't know if they're Brahma Bowls.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 20, his first in the bench area. 15-yard penalty. Still first down.
I think that's Kane Medrano right there from the bench.
It is, without a helmet on.
Yep.
There's been a lot of talking, but you can't push somebody when you're not even a player on the field.
And I think Justin Flo felt that push and made sure that in a wise way that the official saw that push, and Chip Kelley knows you can't possibly have that down 22 with 16 minutes to play.
It's a net of 18 yards on the penalty, back into UCLA territory. Charbonnet stood up after a gain of about 3. Noah Sewell got in there, Stevens as well, second down.
And that is the population density that Joshua Boy was talking about. You have to populate that guy. There's no way, we've seen it time and again, that one guy is going to tackle him, but you bring 2, 3, 4 Ducks to the pond, you have a chance.
Second down and 7 on the throw for Allen, and he tried to skid by Manning but couldn't, just hemmed him in.
Well, that is also vicey. So the same two concepts talked about yesterday. Look at the Ducks defenders here, right? They squeeze this. Allen wants to go outside, can't. Nope. Inside, nope. Nowhere to go, and another 3rd and long.
How much will this crowd have left for shout in 5 seconds, considering what we're hearing now? We'll find out. All Oregon, one of the great traditions in college football next. Dorian Thompson-Robinson to the steering wheel for the Bruins on 3rd and 8. Wide, incomplete for Brown. That is a defense full of belief right now.
And you see that face right there. It's been a different face for DTR. He's not had many of those. My bad. Because he knows now what this down and distance means.
Talking himself into confidence on 4th and 8. A lot louder now. Thompson Robinson, a line drive and a sliding grab for Bobo.
Boy, this Bobo, it doesn't look too statistically significant, but every one of his grabs has been monumental.
That one for a first down to keep the drive alive. And the first catch for Michael Ezeki, the tight end for the Bruins.
And Bobo's gone up, he's gone down, he dug out that little bit of a slider. And here comes some of the tempo from UCLA.
I believe instant replay has stopped this.
Well, this is a conversation. They ran a snap. You can't go back after that ball has been snapped. I think that's some of the conversation here.
The previous play is not under review.
There you go. You can't do it. Once that play happens and UCLA was heads up, that man was heads up. Dan Lanning doesn't like it. But once you run that snap, you can't then go back and review that 4th down.
To be clear, Oregon saw earlier this year you can go back to look at downs as long as the possession continues.
Correct.
On a catch, no catch, you're not able to do the same.
I think he digs that out. Let's see. That left hand is underneath it. It doesn't move. He has control of it the whole time. I'm glad that they got the call right on the field.
Second down and 3 for Charbonnet. He just continues to carve and put the head down to drive inside the 5.
And what I mean by getting it right is it didn't impact this game. And you don't let the stars continue to do what they do. I called him a bull earlier. One man is not going to bring 24 down.
Back to that ramrod. Charbonnet is very close, but just short at the half-yard line. From the 1. Right back there for a UCLA touchdown for Charbonnet.
Boy, an excellent job there. I've been singing the praises of that Oregon Duck offensive line. A very good job by the youngster DeGiorgio, the freshman left tackle, redshirt freshman, because if you just make a stalemate for Charbonnet, he will BYOB. He will be your own blocker, and he will put 6 on the board for UCLA. And remember, DTR and Chip, they've come back from big deficits before.
Bring your own battering ram.
That too. Was a lot of that Bucky Irving run, and that's exactly what Oregon would like to dish up again. Because we have yet to see a punt. Both teams moving the ball up and down the field.
It's a run. It's Whittington behind Dollars, the other back on the block. And it's first down, Oregon.
So you see the other back, and I just see these big hogs out in front. That's all I'm seeing today. I am just seeing these big fellas. And if I said Amubai-Laulu's name once, I've said it 8 times today.
Hey, I got to stand up for the little guys, though. Dollars got into John Vaughn's with a nice block to seal the edge, if I may say so myself. And now here he goes, getting fed after the block. It's a first down, Ducks again.
Okay, now I'll give you some running back love. Look at Noah Whittington right here. Look at this. In your face.
Just throwing his body.
Force on force, and it's been the Ducks' way.
How about that? 2 back sets. They block for each other on the opening 2 plays of the drive. And right back to it. It is Whittington with a stiff arm and a couple yards. Allison, what do you have?
I think you guys have seen emotions high for both teams, but especially on the UCLA sideline, a lot of signs of frustration for this defense. And their veteran leader, Stephen Blaylock, trying to just encourage his guys to channel it in a positive way. He went up to each unit of the defense prior to the start of this quarter and told them it's not over till it's over. 15 minutes is a long time. We have to go the hardest we've gone all game for these final 15. Play your tails off. Play for each other. If we're going to do anything, we've got to do it right now.
He talked about focus this week off a bye week, and he's asking for more of it from his guys on a 2nd down and 8. Nix again right at the line, and Coda put it on the ground. It is blown dead on a forward pass, and it's 3rd and 8.
Once again, that was going to be a run, and Bo Nix makes the decision. Nope, I got man-to-man coverage out there, and I'm going to just give Coda an opportunity. Really the first detail missed by any Duck in some time on offense.
And Nix, being a good teammate, taps his chest and says, my bad on the throw.
Yeah, be aware here. Remember, last 3rd and 8, they ran against that 3-man front. This time a different look from UCLA defensively.
Bent the pitch. Nix keeps it. And it's going to be 4th down and about 4.5. Mental play for UCLA's defense here. Thornton in motion. Nix waits, fires, and he's got it to the sideline, and Irving. Unstoppable Ducks.
Well, Allison just had the report that Stephen Blaylock trying to calm every Bruin down. Make sure everybody does their job and disciplined, and yet another bust. Right to the back side. And look at Kenny Dillingham.
We all know people who love their job. I don't know that anybody in America right now loves his job more than Kenny Dillingham, with a quarterback making impeccable decisions. 45-23 in the return of Chip Kelley. The longest active home win streak is Clemson after beating Syracuse in a close one earlier today in the shadow of Howard's Rock. But that guy was 25 the last time Oregon lost here at home. Oregon scored 2 weeks ago against Arizona 7 straight drives. And, you know, you think the bye week, maybe it'll hurt your momentum. Yeah, no. And the only thing that can stop Oregon today is the win. An onside kick really flipped this game. Back to the touchdown in your clicker.
You asked me earlier about these white hash marks and the difference. Now, here's one of the things. I don't think enough offenses in college football put enough numbers into that short side of the field. They want to attack all of this space down here. But look at when you do in the bind that it puts these two Bruins in. Miscommunication. The corner, Davies plays man. Medrano's left on an island. And oh, watch this too. Look at this. Standing right in the face of Latu, delivering that dart.
Is it because they feel like they have so much ground to cover on the field side?
No question about that.
That's high. It's tipped, and it is wrestled down by Bobo.
Because that lack of space limits lots of your routes and the spacing and the distribution that most coordinators are comfortable with. But Kenny Dillingham seizes the opportunity to put players in a bind into that short area of the field.
Yeah, he's a boundary side bully with his play. There you go. 2nd down and 2. Johnson a bull rush, and it's Bobo right in the middle of the defense for a 1st down.
If you're Oregon right now, you're just trying to make UCLA earn it, and UCLA has between the 20s, right? They've scored on every possession. It's just 3 of them have been field goals.
Can't afford field goals now. Thompson Robinson, that is incomplete. Gonzalez was closest to it.
Can do to you.
Play fake for Charbonnet. It's a throw, and it's wide, and it's caught again. Man, big catch radius for Bobo.
He's going to be an intriguing guy at the next level. He handpicked this school to present that opportunity. Just 3 touchdowns at Duke, 5 already for UCLA, and hands galore.
It's a handoff for Charbonnet just to move the sticks.
And let's remember this, too. DTR and Chip have been here before. They were down 32 points on the Palouse. Now, is Mike Leach, who doesn't game manage.
Wait, it's not complimentary football?
No, he didn't care, up 32. They came back from that deficit, so they've seen deficits and uphill battles before.
That ended up 67-63. 10 minutes to go here. Thompson Robinson evades pressure. Throws his whole body into this one to the sideline, and he's got it for Mokiao Atimalala and a first down.
I think the locals are a little restless. They wanted a hold, which usually comes when QBs escape like that. Nice toe touch there from Titus. And you're absolutely right. DTR had to get every bit of his 205 pounds into that throw.
Injured player down for the Oregon Ducks.
It's like Taimani.
Does.
This is what the locals, when they saw the replay, were curious if there was a little hold on those shoulder pads of Mr. Dorless, and you see Taimani in the middle of it down on a knee. Excellent catch there.
It sets up a first down. Taimani comes off. Jones, the tailback, out of the pistol. Thompson Robinson wants the screen, and he does have it for Jones, who hurdled nobody. He was anticipating the hurdle, and it is a first down UCLA.
You didn't see the imaginary defender?
Wait, evidently you and I don't have the same visual cone. He might have hurt himself, actually, Brock. Well, DTR had the one against Washington. That was perfect. Charbonnet tackled behind the line by Brandon Dorless.
That's some hand-to-hand warfare with the left guard, Mafi. Hands. Why these D linemen work on it all the time. Get your hands off me, right? Rip and tear through that inside move. And it chews up about 15 to 25 seconds on the play clock and game clock.
Well, he just had a big block in the paint. Dorless, second down and 11. Thompson Robinson in a hurry now. Decides to run, and he seeks the boundary into the slide. And it is third down coming up. Steve Stevens, the safety, knocked him down.
He's still screaming at people, too.
This has been a hypercharged game emotionally.
It has, but again, look at the amount of time. Let's go. You got to go.
One letter raining down on the Bruins. That man Sewell to the end zone, and this is intercepted. Brian Addison, the former wide receiver.
Well, your eyes didn't deceive you, Mr. Benetti. It was Noah Sewell. He's spying the entire way. You rush 3, and he's got DTR wherever he goes. And once again, he's in the face. He forces the fourth down Hail Mary, and Addison nearly had it earlier. Remember DTR in that first quarter, he threw into coverage a couple different times. He must here on fourth down, but the former converted receiver, he goes high point and pulls in the pick, his first of the year.
two top 10 teams, but the crowd disagrees in this moment. It's a short gain, basically a run for Autzen. That young man has just been exceptional all year long, playing with huge emotion and belief, and this Oregon team has changed the direction of UCLA's season at this moment. Irving slams on the brakes and dives for a couple. Bo Nix today, how about his distribution?
This is a first all year. A lot of folks wondering, right? It's been a lot of behind the line scrimmage, a few shots. You see the 2 for 3 down the field, but the intermediate game more deadly today than it has been at any time for the Auburn transfer. And these NFL folks, as I said, I saw them at halftime, and every one of them went, wow, you ever seen Bo Nix play this way? Nope. Got to take care of the ball here.
To snap it. At the last moment, 3rd and 7. Here comes Latu, and that throw is incomplete. The pressure caused the issue for Nix, and it's 4th and 7.
Yeah, this was a good job finally by UCLA. Show different looks, get the line communicating different protections. Everybody slides away and leaves Latu in a one-on-one situation there. But like all season, no sacks.
Yeah, that little slide of his foot.
But look at this. Look at Bo. I love that. Holy cow, as much as I like everything, how about the level of accountability right there with Seven McGee saying, I'm throwing that down and away, go get it.
First punt. We didn't even know if the punters were in the building. UCLA gets it back, trying to come back when we return. Robinson out of the backfield. Colson Yankoff just short of midfield. First down.
All right, so watch this. Watch how quickly they restarted it. I mean, ideally, and I know you got to mix formations and do all of that, but a 2-score game, every one of these seconds matters.
Especially with the clock shrinking and shrinking. Thompson Robinson, the walls cave in. He gets outside and throws it out of bounds.
You wonder what the pocket feels like sometimes. When it too, like that clock shrinks and shrinks.
How would you describe this sensation?
Claustrophobia pandemonium.
Thompson Robinson throws it incomplete. Also a good name for your fantasy team if you'd like to change it. 3rd down for UCLA. He's just been a little off kilter because of that pressure.
And that time he's, again, like Bo Nix, talking to his receiver on the other end. The shake of the head, something we've not seen through 6 weeks at all.
One team will leave unbeaten within the conference. Oregon or UCLA. Third down throw, got it wide for Allen, and the UCLA drive continues with a first down.
Wow, that was a long throw all the way across the field. I thought, is it Gonzalez that is matched up in nickel here? If he turns his head a split second earlier, it's going 65 the other way.
Thompson Robinson with the screen, and it's incomplete, and a marker comes in. Charbonnet hit the ground. As the snap came, Casey Rogers was coming in to substitute, and officials are getting a little bit more speedy.
Yeah. That's going to be a hold on DJ Johnson, the outside linebacker rusher.
There are 2 fouls on the defense. Illegal substitution. That penalty is declined. Holding number 9. That 10-yard penalty will be enforced. That's an automatic first down.
think it was number 2, but we'll take a little look here as you see Charbonnet trying to get away.
Yeah, DJ Johnson's like, yeah, put it on 9's tab.
Who's 9?
It was definitely 9. First down, Thompson Robinson. And that throw is right there for Bobo, who's got touchdown number 6 of his season.
Noah Sewell so good on these possession zone coverage here. And this is a dart. Good eyes from DTR. Puts it on the money. Noah Sewell just can't get a finger on it. And Mr. Bobo knows what to do next.
That's a sunk cost. 4:11 to go. And Bobo, who said during the week, we feed off Dorian Thompson-Robinson. We feed off his energy. Creating financial security for more than 150 years. Thank you.
Yep. That was the enormous stolen possession, as these two teams have basically scored on every possession but one. This was the teardrop from heaven that had a launch angle of, I don't know, 78 degrees or something crazy. And here's some of that ground and pound and the balance that Oregon has had. Running it, throwing it. 4 touchdown passes today for the kid from Pinson, Alabama, via Auburn to Eugene.
Little did we know when we were here, and Thompson Robinson, by the way, has felt that heat, and he's not gotten hit a lot, but he's sensed it, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think so, and he sensed the deficit that you're in, and when you're constantly climbing and digging, and there, the big takeaway from Addison, his first interception of the season, it takes more energy, right? And you're going to see an onside kick here. And there was a lot of conversation, Joe Lord right there in the gray jacket, on the previous kickoff. So they are well coached up on this. Let's see if they can execute, or if UCLA can make it even in the onside territory.
It's not Lopez, the usual kickoff guy. It's Barmira, the place kicker and punter, to tee it up at the 35. He comes to the near side. Nobody touched it yet, and it rolls out of bounds. Bobo was hoping it would zig toward him. It never did, and so Oregon will have it at 4:11. In the Pac-12 right now, 2 unbeatens remaining in the conference. UCLA and Oregon. The winner has a very clear inside track to the Pac-12 title game.
Yep, and remember, the Utes are
free kick out of bounds. That 5-yard penalty will be enforced from the out of bounds spot. First down.
And they will be making their way in their trek to face Dan Lanning here the week before Thanksgiving.
The 19th of November. That could be for a berth in the Pac-12 championship game.
Impressive has he been as a first-time head coach.
The first thing you think as a first-time head coach is, well, let's really zone in on his clock management. He's been better than a lot of veteran guys at that deal.
And at 36 years of age, no less.
Irving. He always gains yards to the 35. 4 minutes to go. There's the upcoming schedule.
And that last one, obviously, in Corvallis, and the Beavers are dangerous. You can ask USC that had to score in the final 2 minutes in that building. And Jonathan Smith's done an excellent job building his program as well.
That's going to be really interesting, because you could argue Oregon State has one of, if not the best defense in the Pac-12. So what will they have for this offense that looks like it's not going to stop?
Well, we have sung the praises, rightfully so, of Kenny Dillingham. But I'll tell you, just watching Bo Nix today, we saw him a month ago against BYU. Did not see him this demonstrative. Right? Just the level of, like, hey, I got it. Right? And Coach Dillingham, again, right there in the middle, told us point blank, I have full trust in Bo. He can make any change on any play, but I just love the leadership. I love the communication that feels like it is skyrocketed since we were here a month ago.
It's very true. Kenny Dillingham, by the way, whose diet includes sweatshirt tassels, we just learned. They will run, and it is Whittington. UCLA used a timeout. They put 4:07 on the clock prior to that snap. It's down to 4:01 with the second timeout
this season, but doing it against an opponent that was so much saltier coming in.
And movement at the line is going to lead to a false start. Did UCLA maybe make an unnatural move? The answer is no.
Number 78, offense. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Well, that's the 6-year senior, Alex Forsyth, and I loved his comment yesterday. So when there's a mistake, I don't point fingers, I point the thumb at me. And that time, some pre-snap movement from Toia and those Bruins D linemen got even a 6-year veteran to flinch.
Still go out of the eye on 3rd and 7. How conservative will they be? It's play action for Nix. Bo Nix on the throw, got the first down to another tight end, Moliki Matavao.
You ask how conservative will they be? That's just beautifully executed. Perfect timing. The hard sell by Nix. The speed and athleticism to get out. And then ultimately the finish to the 4th tight end today that's made a difference.
There's a marker down, and it looks like this is going to come back. Illegal man downfield, it looks like. Let's see if they run it here on 3rd and 12. Nope. Nix. Yep. Bales, yeah. Check that. Bo Nix wants the first down himself.
Well, why not? In the biggest 3rd down of the game to try to close this thing out. Latu in his lap. Steps up, doesn't panic, goes right where the down marker is and stays in bound and goes and gets it.
Bo Nix told us when we were here a month ago, he said it was so difficult to reach the same high as I had in my opening game as the Auburn quarterback that came against Oregon in a comeback victory. And it looks as though he has found similar elation during this winning streak, maybe even more. Another run. This is Irving.
Well, they had a pretty cool campaign around here in Nikeville for some time.
What was that?
Well, it was maybe the world's greatest athlete ever. He played for your team, for the White Sox at some point.
Bo Jackson you're talking about?
Yeah, the Bo nose. And this Bo, you know, let's change that moniker with the last name and the rhyme to it, and let's change it to Bo knows, and he knows how to operate this offense seamlessly. I mean, the comfort in it and the confidence in it. And if he can do this with Troy Franklin, like you add that element of the deep ball, the intermediate ball to McCormick, I mean, you start to mold the clay and look at all the different pieces, and this was the 4th down conversion. They had Dillingham up there doing a little dance as those eyes get lost on everybody in front of them, and Bucky Irving comes out the backside for the touchdown. You start to mold clay, right? You just look at, okay, what kind of pieces of clay do I have to mold? Well, I got 4 tight ends. I got 4 tailbacks. I got a veteran offensive line. I got a hyper-confident quarterback that believes in this system and knows it. And now, Troy Franklin on the edge and perimeter. Look out.
Whittington got to the outside, and he takes a seat to the roar of thousands at Autzen Stadium.
Between coordinators, between Bo Nix and how about that man? And that's a special teams coordinator as well. Just the game management right there. Running back, don't go score. Don't be selfish. You could put up a touchdown on your stat sheet, or we can win.
It's amazing what margin and what edge you can gather by using the clock as your friend and as your compatriot in winning football games.
I see a Ducks team here, Jason, that isn't going anywhere. I mean, they just have too much. And defensively, they give up some yards today, sure, but they settle for field goals and holding the field goals, absolutely. Did they come off a bye week just as sharp as they went into it? Absolutely.
this week got asked about UCLA and Chip Kelley's return and how big of a game it was. He said, well, it's just like homecoming when I was a high school football coach.
Yep.
They used to have the hayride and they'd throw candy at you in the parade, but somebody's got to go out and play the football games.
Yep.
And his team has played a masterful game.
And I think what Chip Kelley is going to say to the people after this game is they took it, they earned it. Right? And I don't know who's going to come into this building, and if Oregon continues to play this way and not give you anything, not give you a takeaway, not give you a sack. They've given up 1 sack this entire season. You got to go get it from them, and they got loads and loads of talent to make it pretty darn difficult.
Bo Nix has thrown, coming into today, in 6 games, he's thrown 28 passes all year under quote-unquote pressure. That's about 5 a game.
Yeah.
This is going to be the 23rd straight home win to tie for the longest in school history. So timeout, Oregon.
Just can't settle for field goals. 3 different occasions. And defense got to find a way to get off the field or take the ball away down the road.
547 total yards for the Oregon Ducks today. Nix gives ground basically for the first time today and sends it through the air, and the sound at Autzen, which is deafening for an Oregon 15-point win. Chip Kelley still does not have a win against his former school, and we say farewell.